Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're thinking this is just a quick backyard splash pool, the first thing you need to know is that this pool can completely change your summer setup. But it does take a little patience to get right. So today I'm sharing my experience with this above ground pool, especially from the point of view of a family using it regularly through the summer. This is the kind of pool that looks simple in pictures, but once it's in your yard, filled with water, ladder attached, cover nearby, and kids waiting to jump in, it really becomes the center of the backyard. The first thing that stood out to me was the size. It ended up feeling bigger than I expected. For younger kids, it gives plenty of room to move around, splash, and play without everyone being right on top of each other. I could easily see 3 younger kids using it at the same time, and even older kids or teens can get in and hang out comfortably. It's not the type of pool where adults are going to be swimming laps or anything like that, but for relaxing, cooling off, and letting the kids enjoy summer, the size feels very practical. Setup was pretty straightforward, but I would not call it instant. It takes time. If you go into it expecting a quick 20-minute project, you'll probably get frustrated. For me, this is more of a few-hour backyard project, especially if you're trying to do it carefully. Having 2 people makes the process much easier. The frame goes together without being overly complicated, but the upper round bars that slide through the pool liner sleeves can take some patience. One thing that helped a lot was using a little baby oil to help the bars slide through, instead of getting stuck in the sleeve. Yard preparation is also a big deal with this pool. If your ground is not prepared well, you're asking for problems later. The included ground tarp helps, but the area still needs to be as level and clean as possible before you start filling. I definitely take the extra time to clear the space, check for sharp spots, and make sure the pool is sitting properly. Once this thing starts filling with water, you really do not want to realize something underneath is uneven or poking into the liner. Once set up, the pool looks really nice in the yard. With the ladder in place and the water filled up, it has that classic above-ground pool look that instantly makes the backyard feel more fun. The ladder is a very useful addition, especially for kids getting in and out, and the cover is also nice to have. I will say, the cover can be a little annoying to put on with just 2 people. It's doable, but it takes a little maneuvering, especially if you're trying to get it lined up neatly. The filter system has been one of the better parts of the setup for me. It works well for keeping the water moving, and I found that running it for long periods made pool maintenance easier. Since the filter is on the smaller side, I didn't feel like it was a huge burden to keep it running through the day and even overnight. Once the water was balanced, it stayed looking clean and usable with consistent filtering. For keeping the water right, the main things I focused on were stabilizer and liquid chlorine. What worked well for me was putting pool stabilizer in a stocking, tying it near the filter area, and letting the filter run overnight. I also used liquid chlorine at the beginning, and then added a smaller amount in the evening, after swimming. Once I got into that routine, the water stayed much more consistent. Of course, you still have to check your own levels and adjust as needed, but the pool itself is not difficult to maintain if you stay on top of it. In everyday use, this pool is a lot of fun. It's great for kids, great for a family of 4, and still comfortable when a few extra people are in there. I'd describe it as more of a chill pool than a rough play pool. Kids can absolutely enjoy it, splash around, and spend hours in it. But I wouldn't treat it like something indestructible. Like most above-ground pools, it benefits from being handled with care. Now, I do want to talk about the main concern, the liner and seams. This is the part where I would be a little cautious. Some areas, especially around the bottom liner and where sections come together, can feel like the weakest points. A small drip or pinhole leak can become frustrating if it appears after setup, because by then, you've already spent time assembling and filling the pool. That's why I would inspect everything closely before adding too much water. Look along the seams, check the bottom, and make sure nothing looks split or stressed. The material is not the heaviest pool material out there, so again, ground prep and careful use matter. If you take care of it, keep the area underneath protected, and avoid dragging or stressing the liner, it can be a really enjoyable pool. But if you expect a super heavy-duty permanent pool, that's probably not the right expectation. This is more of a seasonal family pool that gives you a lot of summer fun without going into a full professional pool setup. What I like most is the overall value of the package. You get the pool, the filter, the ladder, the cover, and the ground tarp, so you're not starting with just a bare liner and frame. Once everything is set up, it feels like a complete backyard setup. The kids have something to look forward to every day, and it gives the whole family an easy way to cool off without leaving home. So overall, I think this pool is best for families who want a reasonably sized above-ground pool for summer fun and who are willing to spend the time preparing the ground, setting it up carefully, and maintaining the water. The positives are the size, the simple setup, the included accessories, and how much enjoyment it brings once it's ready. The downsides are that setup takes time, the cover can be a little tricky, and the liner and seams are worth watching closely. For me, the good outweighs the bad, as long as expectations are realistic. Treat it carefully, prep the yard properly, keep the filter running, and stay on top of the water levels. And this can be a really fun summer pool for kids and family use. If you have any questions about this product, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.